This video I have one of these flashing roadworks lights, and I wasn't going to do a video on this one at all. It was just one I saw cheap and picked it up. Had a nice, well, it's got the metal base for the batteries and stuff. Had this nice Artcraft strobe written on it, and strangely it had this sort of grey back to it. Usually they're just the orange on both sides, so I thought that's a little odd, but it still looks good from one side. And I was just going to put it on the shelf until I noticed this little thing here that says caution, 3000 volts inside, switch off before opening. And it's Artcraft Engineering Proprietary Limited, Metropolitan Avenue, Nunawading, phone Sydney or Melbourne. It's got an on-off switch. I think most of them just had the automatic light detector. You could switch them off, I think, by removing part of it, taking it off the post. I forget exactly how they work now. I did do a video on one before, which may have had that. So that got me thinking this thing might actually have a Xenon strobe in it. I can't see it. It looks like the normal thing there. What do we got here? Made in Australia, 3131, moulded into it, AU7X1. That's actually got, yeah, Artcraft Engineering, top. So it's the usual looking thing. Got like a reflective bit around it, in case they're not running, I guess. As well as the flashing light. And yeah, just clamped onto a post on the sort of barriers they'd put around roadworks and that sort of thing. And just says Artcraft hazard lamp there, so I'm not sure how you get into this thing. It almost looks like a Torx indication there, but there's a screw right down. I think it might actually be the back one. Is that a hexagonal down in there? I think it might be the back. It may actually be. Oh yeah, that's loose anyway, so that's alright. Let's have a look and see. No, it's a hex. That would be about that size. That's no. Next one. That's the size, which is a 532. And maybe a metric version. Oh, of course, my metric one's missing around that size. Yeah, so just the usual kind of setup. Tamper-proof things. Ooh. Rusty from batteries, or maybe just water getting in there. Artcraft Australia. Oh, it's coming out. Was coming out until I touched it. There we go. Oh, there's a big capacitor in there. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so we've got an actual Xenon strobe tube in there. Well, I don't think I've ever seen one with that in it before. Got a bit of duct tape holding it together. Is that a Siemens or something symbol? 10K 250. There's a bit of oily looking muck on there, maybe. That's just a bit of old tape or something that's come out. And we've got, yeah, a little inverter board by the look of it. I don't know if they put that tape over it for safety reasons, or because something's broken and loose, probably for safety reasons. I mean, can you believe that doesn't seem to have any insulating box over it, which is a bit crazy. I guess when you take the bottom off the batteries, disconnect. Yeah, there's the, what is that thing? Some sort of tube to fire it or something. Probably a Triac or SCR. You got your step-up transformer and that little pot core thing. Not much to it. Another sort of looks like an IF can type thing. Soldered to that little trigger. I think it was a trigger tube or something it was called. Trigger diode, trigger tube. Been so long, I forget. I do have a strobe light here somewhere. I must look at that as well. Proper Xenon disco strobe thing. Fit dowel when using GE 1815 globe. Oh, it looks like it actually unclips. Well, at least a light bulb wouldn't have blown in these. These things, I think Xenons basically go forever. Let's see if the thing actually works. Don't know which setting is on and off, but we should have. Does it put the batteries in parallel or series is the question. This you'd think they'd probably be in series. Where's the wires? One goes up this red wire, which goes to the switch, comes back and goes into the board. That's the only one I can see a connection to. I think the middle one's a negative. And that is in case, so those two I think should, in theory, I think they have to be soldered together, because it's just so depending if whatever orientation you put the battery in, they always connect. Yeah, they're joined together. And I think the middle one's a negative. So somewhere there's probably just a wire that joins. You definitely don't want to touch that cap once it's been powered up. Yeah, I can see a little red wire going under there. I bet that. Yeah, that joins the two outer ones. Bit of black gooey stuff under there holding that together. Maybe the negative comes up under the board somewhere. So I think that's the case. We can hook negative. Showing they don't mark them, but I'm pretty sure the middle is the negative. And the other one is the positive. See where that red wire goes. Does it have polarity protection? Don't know, a couple of diodes in there. I think that black wire is, with a bit of wrapped around the tube, is, well, I'm not sure if it's actual negative or just the tube. It's something to do with triggering the tube, I think. Well, it's not connected to negative, unfortunately. Come out, it's probably glued in as well. Oh, yeah, we can lift it up. Yeah, black wire goes to the middle, so you'd assume that I'm right to hook up 6 volts to that. Keeping fingers well away from that high voltage stuff. Well, let's turn the power supply off just to be safe before connecting anything up. Nothing. Ooh, I was going to say I can hear the power supply going. Look at that. That is quite the flash. Makes a nice splatting noise. Ah, that's pretty crazy. I would have thought these would be a bit too bright for road use, but let that just discharge. Definitely don't want to get your fingers across that cap. I don't think it'll kill you, but certainly won't feel nice. That is some crazy stuff. I wonder if these were used on roads, or maybe they're used for some other purpose. Mines or somewhere, I don't know. That is super bright. But oh, just a little bit of a bonus video. I thought that was quite an interesting thing. And yeah, I would have grabbed the other one or two they had there. I think it was only another one of these type. Had I known that they actually made a proper strobe version. Not sure why they blocked the back of it. Maybe because it puts out such a bright pulse it'll be lighting up behind a lot more than a normal one. Or sort of reflecting back or something, don't know. That does seem to draw a little bit of power. I'll have to check that with the multimeter, but according to the old panel meter on the power supply, that's drawing around 150 milliamps or something pretty much constantly, with a little flick each time the lamp pulses. That's somewhere around 150 to 200 milliamps, so probably not going to last the longest on your batteries. As battery voltage decreases, effectiveness of signal is reduced. Replace the batteries at 40 flashes per minute. So it must slow down over time. But yeah, never knew these things existed, so that's a new one for me. But I'm no expert on safety lights at roadworks. But they always seem to be the fairly dim ones when I was growing up when I used to see these sort of things on roadworks. And yeah, I don't think they've had them quite as bright as this, and certainly don't remember ever seeing one with a blanked out back on it. So, a little bit of a novelty thing, but yeah, it could be fun to set up somewhere and just have it flashing away like that. Definitely want to run it off a power supply rather than these expensive batteries these days. Yeah, certainly a bit different here. So the front pin's actually got a squared out bit, so it can't rotate. Even though it looks like, I know someone's tried to rotate it. I know it's actually got flat bits on it. But you'd need quite a long hex Allen key for that. I assume that tool's probably long enough to reach down in there, is it? It's turning it wrong way though. Maybe I won't tighten it up too much because I bet I forget what the hell it was, which tool it used. So yeah, I'll give that maybe a little bit of a clean up. It's kind of got that a bit of patina, which it doesn't, which suits it quite well since it is a roadworks type thing. Does that pop out somehow? Maybe, maybe not. I think they're welded on. There probably is a way of disassembling the lens, but I don't think I'll go fiddling with that. Quite tightly put together, nice metal strap around this one, making it quite strong. And yeah, full solid metal case. So I might have to look that up online, see if there's any info on these particular ones in this company. Artcraft Engineering, yeah, a bit of a weird name for an engineering firm, but there you go. Yeah, nice toggle switch in there. And yeah, lens needs a bit of a clean, she's a bit rough. Now that I look at it, had a few scratches from being in the back of a ute probably, or something's floating around, probably while the paint's missing as well. But anyway, just a interesting little device, so thanks for watching.